Well, have we got a day? Really, it's a weekend ahead of us, but we're just going to talk about today because this is just one studio session. But I have kind of like two things that I need to do today. So one is I have this necklace that I was asked to fix by a former client of mine. I used to teach private lessons, like kind of home visit style for people that had metalsmithing studios set up in their house. I would go to their house and teach them private lessons, just working with them one-on-one on either techniques that they were interested in learning or specific projects that they were working on. So this necklace is one of the things that I made with a client, completely her design. This is a opal stone. And then these are, I can't remember if they're aquamarine or what. I'm not really a very stone driven person, so it almost doesn't even matter. And then she has this little hidden element of the filigree on the back, so you can kind of see the back of the stone. And then there's this little hinge element that, it swings. And because hinges was one of the things that she was interested in learning. So they did that. And so the problem is that these jump rings back here, we designed it so that there were multiple sizes that she could wear it at. Like, I don't know exactly the measurements off the top of my head, but it was maybe like the difference between a 16-inch necklace and a 14-inch necklace. Like, it was basically like, depending on the neckline of her shirt, you might not even really care about that. But that's why it's like this, is because there's an adjustable kind of capability of it. And so we've got this chain, which is like a very fine chain, and then we've got a jump ring, a larger jump ring, which is kind of like the clasp. That's what, if you're not into jewelry, I'm sorry. I will be using fire later to possibly melt this all into a puddle. So if that interests you, stick around. But like, if this isn't your jam, that's okay. Anyways, for those of you who are still with me, so this little clasp here is made out of sterling silver, and that will either clasp onto this ring or this ring, whatever she wants. And so this jump ring is soldered shut, and this jump ring is soldered shut as well, but these little ones are not. And so what's happening is that the little ones are opening up just large enough that the chain slips out of there. This is not soldered, but at this point with the stone in here, like, we can't solder it. But also this doesn't seem to be giving her a problem. The jump ring seems to be holding just fine, and so the chain is staying on there just fine. So before I give it back to her, I'm going to tighten them up really nicely, but I gotta solder that together, and then I gotta keep working on my like edging clamp or three-way clamp or whatever. So that's what I have to do today. So let's get to work. So since I'm doing that necklace, I'm going to start by soldering the jump rings. But, you just got to like get everything set up because it's a different type of a solder job than I had been doing previously. So I'm just adjusting my cross-locking tweezers so that they don't completely smush the jump ring, because that's a possibility with something that small. If the cross-locking tweezers are too tight, when the part heats up, it can just like smush it. So just cut some extra easy solder, or maybe it's medium solder. I'm not sure. I just know I wanted it to be really small, and I want to solder it like really fast. All right. So you can see my little solder pally in there, and it went. And then I quenched it, and I'm not even going to pickle it. I'm just going to solder the next jump ring because it's still, oh wait, am I pickling it? this was over a month ago, so I don't remember what happened. No, I'm not pickling it. Oh, I thought there wasn't enough light, so I had to get a light. All right, so yeah, you know the drill. Flux it, put a little pallium of solder on there. And that's like the tiniest torch tip that I have. All right, second one went, like, I mean, I'm pretty sure I was sweating when I was doing this, but they seem to be working well. I've done stuff like this before, so I knew I could. It's just, I don't like to. All right, and then that one went as well. And so I'm going to pickle it, and I'm going to put just the chain in the pickle, but not that lobster claw. Or, like, heaven forbid, the opal or anything. I'm just going to put them on top. Put them on top of the lid. I'm definitely explaining something. Okay. Oh, yeah. So now I'm picking up where I left off with this 3-way clamp. Yeah. Just showing where I am and where I'm going. So I'm going to cut it in half. Oh my gosh. I can't believe I left this in. My fingernails were had dirt under them, and so I had to stop right then and clean them out. So ridiculous. But anyways, then once I had clean fingernails, I could cut that in half, and then I have it in a little hand vise. I think they call that a ring clamp. And just filing in a little seat for that tube, you know, so it fits nice and flush. So I started off with a triangle file and then moved to a square file. Yeah, see, I got the triangle file and then moved to a square file and then a round file. And the round file is like the same outer diameter as the tube. Okay, now I'm going to take this piece out of the pickle and rinse it. And check them. I'm trying to check all of the jump rings to make sure that they really soldered shut and nothing froze. Well, like the solder didn't run and freeze any of the chain, but it went really well, so that's great. I'm setting up soldering of, I'm guessing this back kind of spine of the edging clamp. And I got my hard solder on there. And so, yeah, I found this to be referred to as a 3-way clamp or an edge banding clamp. I guess if you were going to be putting edging on something, this would work really well. And so I did one, and now I'm doing the other side. And these are the end pieces. I don't know if that makes any sense to you, but it will, I think, when I put the whole thing together. These are like the shorter, oh dear. Ooh, that was a little dicey there. Okay. I think the seat helps it, fall into place when the solder melts. So then I pickled both of them, and now they're out of the pickle. Oh, no, they're not out of the they're in the pickle, but I'm going to solder the other side of these tubes, which these are there's so many things in this project that, like, there was a possibility that any overheating or unwanted flown solder could just, like, freeze it. I don't know how to. Does it make sense when I say it could freeze it? The solder runs and in an unwanted area, and then there's no movement there anymore. So I'm just being really careful to train the flame away from the already soldered pieces. And I'm using hard solder on this. Probably because, I don't know, maybe I have something to prove. Or the color would be different. If I used medium solder, it would be more yellow on one side, and we can't have that. Especially obviously I had the skill to do all hard solder for these parts. So don't worry though, there's other parts that have easy solder. So I take the back spine pieces out, and then I put those 3 threaded elements in the pickle. And then this is the center tube. So you can see the tube that's against the fire brick. That's what you just watched me solder. So I'm hoping that this is starting to come together even a little bit. This is a pretty great song too. Look at that. All right. I think I have to pickle that before now it's out of the pickle. Look, don't you love that? It's just okay, it's done. Really, it was probably, I don't know, probably had to stay in there for 10 minutes or something. All right, so now that's all one unit, and I just have to do this one last solder, job, solder seam. And I'm just setting it up, flux. And then I think I'm still using hard solder. Yeah, you can barely see it, but there's a little pink plate over there. Right. Hopefully nothing like that top one could reflow, and then that little tube could just fall off, if I'm not paying attention and being careful. Whew. Yeah. That left a lot of solder slop there. I think as soon as it flowed, I just made sure it flowed completely and was I can clean it all up afterwards. So yeah, now it's going in the pickle. Oh my gosh, you guys. I'm exhausted. This studio session, I started pretty late today in the day. I maybe started at 3 p.m., which you guys know is tough for me. So I started at 3 p.m. and now it's 6:30. So I guess it really hasn't even been that much time. But doing this part of the clamp was really stressful to get it lined up so that it is going to be, it's pretty much in line. I do feel like it's kicked in a little bit, but I think that if I hold it with pliers, probably not these specifically, but if I hold it, here, and I'm not going to do it right now. Don't worry. I'm too tired. I'm not that dumb. I shouldn't say dumb. I'm not that inexperienced. Yeah, but I'll hold it there and probably, for crying out loud, I'll hold it here and here, and then just make this angle right here more of a 90-degree angle. I feel like it's a little acute right now. It's a cute angle. Adorable. And, yeah, I also finished soldering those end caps on all 3 of these. And I also finished this, fixing this chain for my friend. And I still have to polish it, but I'm going to see her tomorrow at 10. So I'm thinking that I'm going to come down in the studio tomorrow morning and just film a little segment of me polishing the chain just for the YouTube version of the video. I probably won't record for a studio session update. It's a lot to be recording for a studio session update, but then also recording for the video of how I'm making the clamp. And also I decided to do this video of me repairing this chain. And so I'm working on 3 videos at the same time. It's kind of a lot. And I just honestly feel like you will see the video of me fixing this chain on this piece, and so then you'll see how I do the finish work. But seeing like surveillance footage of me working with the flex shaft kind of far away is not, I just feel like it's more worth it for me to just do it for the final video, and then you can see it then. And that's my opinions. That's what we're going with. And yeah, I still have quite a bit to do on this clamp. Not as much though. But when I get back from visiting my friend and giving her this piece, I'll come back in here and probably do the most nerve-wracking of the tasks, which is after these holes are tapped, you know, then I'm going to thread this through here. You know, I think I may have already said it before, but I have to cut this length down shorter so that it's not like, you know, there's no reason for this to be longer than these, you know, it's like there's no reason for them to be this long. And so I just made them that long because I know that it's easier to make things shorter when you know what you're needing than it is to like make it the right size before you even know how long you want it to be. So I just made it overly long, and now they need to be cut down, and then these end caps need to be soldered onto there. But I have to make sure that when I'm soldering the end caps of all three of these pieces onto here, the end caps onto here, that this being threaded into this sterling silver isn't gonna fuse and freeze the entire thing, you know? So I'm a little nervous about that, but I also feel like, what's a good challenge, you know? Sometimes it's good for life to make you feel nervous. Is it good nervous? It's a challenge, whatever. All right, well, I'm gonna dump my footage for tonight, and I'm doing a little bit of editing on another video that I can't wait to share with you. So that's what I'm gonna go and do right now. But thanks so much for coming into the studio with me today. I really appreciate your interest in what I'm doing and your constant kind of feedback and letting me know what you think. And I just really it gives me a new layer of, I don't know how to say it, purpose. Yeah, it gives me purpose knowing that, you know, because I have YouTube personalities that I watch, and I really crave their content because I like them as a person, and I like their style of making and how they, you know, put together their videos. And so I look forward to their videos. And so it makes me feel really good that you are in the same boat. So thanks so much for watching, and I love you, and have a great night. Okay, bye. Mwah.